President Trump has always been a champion for American workers and businesses. He believes in fair trade deals that benefit the United States. In April 2025, he took decisive action to address long-standing trade imbalances. He announced a new tariff plan. This plan aims to protect American jobs and industries. This plan marks a significant shift in U.S. trade policy. It has sparked intense debate. Supporters praise its boldness. They believe it will restore American manufacturing. Critics express concerns. They fear it could trigger a trade war. One thing is certain, this tariff plan will have far-reaching consequences. President Trump's tariff plan is straightforward. It imposes a 10% tariff on goods imported from several countries. This includes China and members of the European Union. This 10% rate mirrors what some U.S. allies already charge on American products. The goal is reciprocity. President Trump wants a level playing field. He believes American businesses are at a disadvantage. Foreign tariffs make it harder for them to compete. These new tariffs are meant to correct that imbalance.
The Trump administration projects significant economic benefits from these tariffs. We estimate $600 billion in annual revenue. This revenue, we argue, can be used to benefit American workers. Tax cuts are a key part of the plan. We suggest using tariff revenue to fund payroll and corporate tax reductions. These cuts, we believe, will stimulate the economy. We project GDP growth could reach 4%. This would be a significant boost to the American economy.
The stock market reacted swiftly to the tariff announcement. The Dow Jones Industrial Average experienced a sharp drop. It plunged 1,100 points immediately following the news. Some reports indicate an even steeper drop of 1,600 points midday on April 10th. This reaction reflects investor uncertainty. The tariffs introduce a new element of risk into the global economy. Businesses are unsure how these tariffs will impact supply chains and consumer demand. This uncertainty has led to volatility in the markets. Section 5. Voices of Support, a patriotic push for fairness. This section delves into the various voices that have rallied behind the recent tariff implementations, highlighting the patriotic fervor and the quest for economic justice that drives their support. Support for the tariffs is evident among certain groups. These groups see the tariffs as a necessary measure to protect American jobs and industries from the pressures of global competition. Blue-collar workers, particularly in manufacturing, see it as a win. They believe that these tariffs will help to level the playing field, ensuring that American-made products can compete fairly in the global market.
They believe it will protect their jobs from unfair foreign competition. Many workers have felt the sting of job losses due to cheaper imports, and they see the tariffs as a shield against this trend. The Teamsters Union, for example, endorsed President Trump's plan in 2024. Their endorsement reflects a broader sentiment among labor unions that these tariffs are a step towards safeguarding American labor.
Many Republicans view the tariffs through a patriotic lens. They argue that protecting American industries is not just an economic issue, but a matter of national pride and sovereignty. They see it as a necessary step to assert American economic strength. By imposing tariffs, they believe the U.S. can reclaim its position as a dominant force in global trade. They believe the United States has been taken advantage of in trade deals for too long. These tariffs are seen as a corrective measure to address years of perceived economic imbalance and unfair trade practices. These tariffs, they argue, are a way to stand up for American interests. By prioritizing American workers and industries, supporters believe the country can build a more robust and self-reliant economy. Section 6. Counter-arguments and economic risks, a delicate balance.
Critics of the tariffs, however, are quick to point out potential risks. One major concern is retaliation. Other countries could respond by imposing their own tariffs on American goods. This could escalate into a trade war, harming businesses and consumers on all sides.
Economists also caution against assuming the economic benefits will outweigh the costs. Tariffs are essentially a tax on consumers. They lead to higher prices on imported goods. This can hurt consumer spending and slow economic growth. The long-term impact is a subject of much debate. Section 7. Global reactions, a ripple effect. The international community has responded to the tariff plan with a mix of caution and concern. The European Union and ASEAN, while expressing disappointment, have opted for a wait-and-see approach. They have paused any retaliatory measures for 90 days. They are open to negotiations with the United States to resolve the issue. China, however, responded with immediate countermeasures. They imposed 84% tariffs on U.S. imports. This tit-for-tat approach raises concerns about a potential trade war between the world's two largest economies. The economic fallout from such a conflict could be significant. Section 8. Public Opinion and Political Responses. A Divided Nation. In recent years, the nation has found itself increasingly divided over a range of issues, and the topic of tariffs is no exception. This chapter delves into the public opinion and political responses surrounding this contentious issue. Public opinion on the tariffs is divided. In town halls and public forums across the country, citizens are voicing their concerns and support. Some see tariffs as a necessary measure to protect American jobs and industries, while others fear the economic repercussions. A CBS News poll conducted in April 2025 revealed a partisan split. The poll highlighted that opinions on tariffs are not just divided, but deeply entrenched along party lines. This division is reflective of the broader political climate in the country. Republicans are more optimistic about the long-term benefits. They argue that tariffs will protect American industries from unfair foreign competition and ultimately lead to job creation and economic growth. They believe the tariffs will lead to job creation. Democrats, on the other hand, are more skeptical. They point to the potential for retaliatory tariffs from other countries and the impact on global trade relations. They worry about the potential for higher prices and economic harm. The concern is that tariffs could lead to increased costs for consumers, making everyday goods more expensive and straining household budgets. The political response to the tariffs has been predictably partisan. In Congress, debates are heated, with each side firmly entrenched in their positions. Republicans largely support the tariffs, viewing them as a tool to bolster American industry. The White House defends the plan as essential for American economic interests. They argue that the tariffs are a strategic move to ensure the country's economic security and to reduce dependency on foreign imports. They accuse Democrats of playing politics with the issue. According to the administration, opposition to the tariffs is more about political maneuvering than genuine concern for the economy. Democrats, in turn, criticize the tariffs as reckless and harmful to American consumers. They argue that the policy is short-sighted and will ultimately hurt the very people it aims to protect, leading to higher prices and economic instability. Section 9. Conclusion. Charting a course through uncharted waters. President Trump's 2025 tariff plan represents a bold gamble. This plan aims to reshape the landscape of international trade, with the intention of bringing more manufacturing jobs back to American soil. By imposing higher tariffs on imported goods, the administration hopes to incentivize companies to produce domestically, thereby boosting the local economy. It is a high-stakes bet on the future of the American economy. The stock market has already shown signs of volatility in response to these proposed changes. Investors are wary, and the financial sector is holding its breath, waiting to see how these policies will unfold. The uncertainty is palpable, and the stakes could not be higher. The potential benefits are enticing. Increased domestic manufacturing could lead to job creation and a stronger industrial base. This, in turn, could reduce the nation's dependency on foreign goods and create a more self-sufficient economy. The vision is clear: a revitalized manufacturing sector that stands as a pillar of economic strength. A surge in economic growth, driven by increased production and consumer spending, could follow. Cities could see a renaissance of economic activity, with new businesses opening and existing ones expanding. The ripple effects of such growth could touch every corner of the nation, from urban centers to rural communities, and a rebalancing of global trade are all possibilities. By reducing the trade deficit, the United States could strengthen its position in the global market. This rebalancing could lead to more favorable trade agreements and a more competitive stance on the world stage. However, the risks are undeniable. Retaliation from trade partners could lead to a trade war, with tariffs being imposed on American goods in return. This could hurt American exporters and lead to higher prices for consumers. Inflation is another concern, as the cost of imported goods could rise, leading to increased living expenses for everyday Americans. And economic uncertainty could undermine any potential gains. Businesses may hesitate to invest in new ventures, and consumer confidence could wane. The fear of an economic downturn looms large, casting a shadow over the potential benefits of the tariff plan. Only time will tell whether this gamble will pay off. The coming months and years will be critical in determining the success or failure of this bold strategy. As the policies take effect, their impact will become clearer, and the true cost and benefits will be revealed. The coming months and years will be critical. Policymakers, business leaders, and everyday citizens will all play a role in navigating this new economic landscape. Their decisions and actions will shape the future of the American economy and its place in the world. The world will be watching closely as the United States navigates this new era of trade policy. The stakes are high and the outcome remains uncertain. Global markets will react, and international relations could be reshaped by the success or failure of these policies. And the outcome remains uncertain. As we chart this course through uncharted waters, the balance between risk and reward will be delicate. The path ahead is foggy, and only time will reveal whether this bold gamble will lead to prosperity or peril.